In this video, we're gonna be talking about the 3 things that were the most difficult for me when I first started my trucking business. Yo, what's up guys? Felix from Giant Lifestyle. So I've been posting some trucking content lately because I've been getting a lot of feedback that you guys really love these videos. So if you guys want videos on anything like credit, flipping medical commodities, real estate, or anything else financial freedom and entrepreneur related, then go ahead and drop them in the comments below. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about the 3 things that were the most difficult for me when I first started my trucking business. So luckily, when I first started my trucking business, bought my box truck, I already had a business partner who was well skilled or knowledgeable in the trucking industry. He already had a few trucks. He's been involved in the business on and off for a few years, and he's the same person that I run my current businesses with, so I trust his advice and his say. So I knew what he was saying. He wasn't going to guide me down a path that wasn't correct. So what I did is I took some of the things that I learned from him, I learned from a few other people. I got my truck on the road decently quick, and now at this very moment, it's currently down in Virginia for a $1,000 route. I'll show the Raycon on screen right now. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the 3 things that were the most difficult or most challenging for me when first starting my trucking business. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, put a thumbs up on it. It costs nothing, and it really helps my channel get out to other entrepreneurs, other people looking to build a business, whether it's trucking, credit, real estate, medical commodities, anything of that nature. All right, so if you guys have watched my previous videos, you guys know that I bought my box truck from a government auction. I bought it from an auction, and I bought this truck, a 2005 International 26,000 pound box truck, for literally not even $1,800. In fact, the truck only cost $1,700, I believe $1,762 after the buyer's premium. The buyer's premium is basically a fancy word for the company that runs, or the website that runs the auction, their cut, because they're not running the auction for free. They're basically the middleman between the seller and the buyer, put us together, and that's their little 3 to 5% fee. So this was a the original owner was the United States government. It was a postal service truck, and anything that seems to be related to the government or in their possession, they take extremely good care of it. There was regular maintenance, and we got a whole history of the maintenance, and they kept very good care of it. Now, when I first got the truck, they basically signed over the origin of manufacturer, and the funny thing is the origin of manufacturer is actually the original title. When you go and get a car, even if you pay cash for the car, when you go and give the title to the DMV, they now own the car, and that's the reason that you register the car and you have to pay registration every year, because you don't actually own the car unless you have the origin of manufacturer, which the DMV now has. So they actually gave us that piece because it was a government truck. So I got the truck, and the one thing that I was kind of confused on was, like, what documentation do I need? I know I needed commercial insurance. I know I needed other things. I just didn't know exactly what to do, and I didn't want to get out on the road and then get pulled over by a trooper or a cop, or get stuck at a warehouse and they ask for certain documentation and I not have it. So I quickly realized that there were a whole mess of different certifications and permits and regulations that I needed in order to have my authority to travel. So that was kind of like the biggest thing that was the most difficult for me, because me personally, like, I'm not that organized. I'm organized as possible because that's the sustainability of my business. But like, being organized, doing paperwork, that's my least favorite thing. My most favorite thing is probably doing YouTube and doing real estate and doing credit and stuff like that. But in business, you're always gonna have things that you love the most and things you hate the most. And by far, I would say doing paperwork is my least favorite thing, but it's one of the most crucial things that you have to do in order to push the business forward. And doing the paperwork side to this business, as far as, getting your MC number, getting your DOT number, all that stuff, and the other things that you needed were the most difficult. But luckily, like I said, my business partner that I do the real estate with, and the other businesses that I built, me and him have been partners, and he already was involved in the trucking business and already had money invested into the trucking business and into trucks. So as soon as I got my truck, or our truck that we kind of teamed up on, he told me exactly what I did, and he basically just took the pathway on that one. It was like, you need this, 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 and this. So without that, it would be really difficult. I have to kind of piece it together through the DMV. When you go to the DMV, they will tell you certain things but you still need other permits and certifications that will allow you to have your authority to travel the roadways. So that is maybe the first thing. What you could do is you could actually like find somebody in your local area that's also has trucks, and you could kind of offer them, offer to help them in exchange for advice on how to set that up. So there's a bunch of different things you need, like MC, DOT, and all types of all right, so the second thing would actually have to be finding the work and getting consistent loads. So when I invested into this truck and this trucking business with my business partners, I had really no idea how to put all this together, and I kind of played like the back seat on this one. And I had no idea like, where are we gonna get the routes? I don't want to be driving for 30 cents a mile or 25 or 35 cents a mile that I've heard that other big name companies pay their drivers. It could be a bit more, but still 30 cents a mile times 600 miles in a day, which could take all day, won't even make you $250. And after taxes, you will literally be looking at peanuts. And I've heard from other people after I've made some trucking videos that they're driving for Best Buy or other routes and they're making peanuts. And it really doesn't open the floodgates until you get a dispatcher or a contract that can give you consistent routes. And when I actually got connected with the dispatcher that I have right now, which I kind of had to dish out some money for, but how I look at business, and I've been doing this for years, is I either look at my time or my money. And I know that time is something that I can never get back, but money comes and goes. So I paid somebody that I knew from my business partner who helped me set the business up. And I basically got in with a dispatcher who can literally get me loads every single day. Now the loads, the pay, and everything is different every single time. But now I'm actually starting to set up some consistent routes. So in the beginning, I would pick up something like tonight and then drop it off in the morning, or I'd pick up something early in the morning and drop it off at night. And it was a bit all over the place, which really didn't really make sense as to how I would scale this and really line a worker up, because somebody who gets a job or works for a company, they want something consistent. They don't want to be all over the place, and they don't want to be leaving their house at crazy hours to go make some money. They want something steady. So now I've actually worked with my dispatcher to get 2 consistent routes. Now, number 1 is like the one that you see on screen earlier in this video, down to Virginia for $1,000. I know it showed 2,400, but we already got prepaid that because we went down there and the warehouse wasn't ready. So we basically got detention time and all a bunch of things that calculated for 2,400. And then we also have another one to Connecticut for 725, which is gonna be bumped up to 800. So when I first started this, I was scared because I had no idea how we could actually lock down contracts or routes that would pay good money to make this business work. But once I got in with a dispatcher who could feed me the routes that pay up to $3, $4, $5 a mile for something that could be either a few hundred miles away, 400, 500 miles away, I actually seen the money. That's when I realized that this business is actually going to be a cash flow of mine and not just something where I'm breaking even every single time. The third thing that I had the most trouble with, and that's the kind of position I'm in now, is actually just getting this business fully automated. Because with the trucking business, that a lot of people don't kind of expect is the amount of expenses there are. There's not a crazy amount of expenses. It's not like you're running a restaurant by any means, but you do have things like insurance, you do have things like tolls, you do have things like gas, you do have things like maintenance. So there are overhead that you have to account for, but there's also overhead like a worker. And having a worker and automating this business is where the trucking business really takes you to the next level, because it's cool. Like I said, I could jump in a truck and make $400 or $500 a day. But when you can actually send somebody out on the road and make $300 or $400, even if you make less profit, but you literally don't have to do any work, that to me is amazing. That's why I'm an entrepreneur, because I want to own my own time and I want to live life on my terms. It doesn't make sense to work a job and be broke. You could just build your own business and be broke. So the fact that I can set up businesses, send somebody out on the road for 300, 400, 500 miles and collect payment for work that almost is completely passive, that's what I like. One of my tenants actually just paid me rent today, a little late, but I still got my rent money. And to me, those are the businesses that I like setting up, where I set it up once and I do minor maintenance, and now I can collect a cash flow. So I've hired employees for other businesses like my medical commodity business or my real estate company. But stuff like this, you kind of just have to be a leader. You kind of just have to know how to treat people, which, if you're a good-hearted person, then you should have no problem doing it. but it's always good to, you know, when you first take them out on the road, kind of train them up, show them a day in the life, and then if they like it, kind of just send them out and test them, because you have to give people trust. With my medical commodity company, my runner who picks up all the medical commodities from my clients, I let him run with up to $1,000 at any given day. And if he wants to run over with my money, or if my driver wants to drive my truck and change the license plate and change the VIN number, then if he really wanted to, I'm sure he could. But I put trust into people, and, you know, I go to places where I know people are looking for work. There's a epidemic going on right now in this world, so people are looking for work. People want to make money. If you treat people good, you take care of them, you pay them right, people will stay loyal to you. A lot of people aren't ever meant to be in the position of a worker, of a boss. So if you lead them and you treat them right, they're going to rock with you for, you know, however long you want to rock with them, or however long you want them to rock with you. So I would have to say that was like the challenge that I'm facing now, which I almost have it pretty much fully automated. Like I said, my truck went to Virginia right now for $1,000, and as you can see, I'm not in the truck, I'm here making this video. So once you actually get the business automated and you put a worker in it, then that's cool. But even if you don't put a worker in it and you drive it 3 days out the week while you do your other business or whatever else you're doing, you could still make $1,500, $2,000 a week as just a side hustle. And if you put a worker in it, then you could buy another truck or another truck, and this business can literally have no limits. So those were the 3 biggest challenges that I faced when starting my trucking business. Like right now I only have 1 truck, and the profits from that 1 truck are pretty incredible. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions about the trucking business, anything you want to know, you can check out my other videos. You could also check the link down below. I created a free video, kind of like a 40-minute video that explains like everything that I did in the trucking business to get me to this point. So click down below. It's going to ask you for your name, and from there you can just immediately start watching it. You don't have to wait, you don't have to do none of that. You can immediately start watching it. It's going to tell you everything you need to do, everything you need to know as far as what I did to get my trucking business to the level I'm at. I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you guys so much. See you guys later. Peace.